Can I support you in your work with this bill, because ultimately it's about protecting tenants and landlords, the medical staff, the healthcare workers, and it's about those people being redeployed in frontline action against Covid-19. No section of society escapes this crisis. Agriculture is no exception, and many employed and self-employed in agriculture will be impacted by the bill. They're often faced with crises. The agricultural industry, though not directly impacted by any infection to animals, will feel the knock-on effects. People, especially in agriculture, are overwhelmed with the volume of information they're getting on board at the moment. There's a lot to digest. It must be stated, to avoid any doubt, that food and food supply chains will not be impacted by Covid-19, and farmers will continue to produce food in the highest standards to feed the nation through the crisis. However, what must be noted is that they are potentially citizens and employees who could and may succumb to the coronavirus, who could struggle to manage SME businesses through illness, and in the absence of support mechanisms or human resources to keep the wheels turning on a daily basis. Credit must be given to farming organisations who have moved quickly to assist farmers and to engage. It must be noted that organisations such as the IFA, with over 940 branches across the country, have produced guidelines and advice to dealing with Covid-19 on farm, and have produced a Have You a Plan B step-by-step document to assist with planning for contraction of the virus if this should happen. Beef markets are under pressure. International buyers are nervous like never before. Carcass balancing demands will present huge challenges, something compounded by the closure of hotels, restaurants, catering outlets, cancellation of functions, dinners, weddings and celebrations, and a depleted market for the prime cuts of beef. Multinational fast food chains have closed their doors, and even though we all hope this is a temporary disruption, we should be alarmed that this will create upset in the market, albeit hopefully very brief. Livestock marts have closed, and this will present huge challenges for many, as the mechanism to deliver cash in a timely manner has been lost, where the ability to sell livestock at whatever stage of growth can stave off the threat of mounting bills and debts incurred in the normal process of running the business. Furthermore, the social fabric of farming in rural areas often around livestock marts, and the absence of these presents another problem, with the ever-present issue of social isolation, with some less social media savvy individuals depending on the mart for social interaction with friends and neighbours. And something I don't believe has been truly recognised is that as currency fluctuates with the impact of Covid-19, on an island that currently imports 80% of feedstocks and raw material from international markets, we could face an increase in feed and fertiliser prices, putting even more pressure on profits and margins in very much unforeseen circumstances. Minister, in conclusion, in the last few weeks have highlighted even more the necessity to work north, south, east and west. And the last few days have demonstrated that even though we have differing approaches, we're all working to the same objectives. Even though timing and technicalities have not always been the same, the objectives have: to protect life and to manage the people and the economy through a common foe. As the pendulum swims back and forwards regarding who's performing best, north or south, this is only a distraction. What matters is who will perform best to save lives and protect people. There are no winners or losers. This is a unique moment in history, and something I believe we're overlooking in Northern Ireland. It's the first time since the Great War over 100 years ago when the people across the island, north and south, have a shared ambition. Whether nationalist or unionist, republican or loyalist, people have united to fight a common enemy. The last time it happened was the First World War, with nationalist and unionist soldiers fighting shoulder to shoulder. And then in the 1918 to 1920 flu pandemic, which affected about 500 million people, killing 50 to 100 million people globally, and it wasn't discerning on creed or colour. Minister, these are truly unique times, and we emerge from this crisis, as we will. We must capitalise on our ability to work together for common good, to park differences and to strive to build a better economy together for all. This pandemic is undoubtedly uniting people north and south, east and west. And can I please ask you to ensure that this momentum is maintained?